rainy day. I think God has settled down the rain. When we started, it was pouring, so we came to the church, we prayed, asking God, Lord, to control this rain so that everybody can come and worship you. So, Lord is good and give us the opportunity that we can be in His presence. Amen. So, last week we started the series, Putting on the Mind of Christ. What is it like if we have the mind of Christ? How do we think? And so, as part of the second message of the series, today we look at thinking like Jesus. If we have the mind of Christ, if we think like Jesus, what are the characteristics a person will show? So that is what we will focus on today. Last week, if someone is not there and did not hear the message, please catch up that message on the YouTube. Because it's a continuation series, it will really, each one is independent because we talk about everything specifically, but it will help you to continue, each one, because last week we talked about 9 pillars, based on the mind of Christ. Because what we are doing is every week digging deeper into this understanding of these pillars. Today we talk about 10 characteristics of the person who has the mind of Christ. So we will explore those things in the coming days as well. Because if we understand how God operates, if we understand the thought process of Jesus Christ, and if we have Him in our heart, how we think, then it transforms our life. Because everything depends on how we think. And so the series is all about rethinking our life. Rethinking the way we think, the way we make decisions. So once we have the mind clarity, how to think, then the whole life will be peaceful, and it's a much more less stressful life, because we know that we are making the calls with the help of our Lord and Jesus Christ. So Isaiah 40:13 says, "Who understands the mind of the Lord?" Who understands the mind of the Lord? Here Isaiah was saying this: nobody can understand the mind of the Lord. But well, in the New Testament, that answers the point that we can understand as Christ knows the mind of the Lord and He lives in us. See, that's what the whole difference is. The Old Testament, they couldn't know. Unless God reveals to them, they don't know. But Paul was talking about in the New Testament in 1 Corinthians 2:16, we can understand these things because we have the mind of Christ. See, that's what the difference is. We can understand Him because we have the mind of Christ. But what does that mean? What does that mean that we have the mind of Christ? So it means that we learn to think like Jesus. We can have the same thoughts, same attitude, same reactions as Jesus. And God's goal for your life and mine is to become like Christ. See, that's how the goal is. When we become a believer of Jesus Christ, He wants us to transform us to be like Him. He wants to be like Christ. So, you cannot become like Christ unless you start thinking like Christ. See, that's where the whole thing is. We have to start thinking like Him. So, Philippians 2:5 says, "In your lives, you must think and act like Christ Jesus." We must think and act like Christ Jesus. What does that look like? So, what does having the mind of Christ look? So I'm going to give you the characteristics, 10 characteristics of a person who thinks like Jesus. There are many out there, but we want to focus on 10. And so in the future we will dig into this more in detail. So when I learn to think like Jesus, or having the mind of Jesus Christ, the first one is, I know exactly who I am. I know exactly who am I. who I am. So if you have the mind of Christ, if you are thinking like Christ, we will know our identity very clear. There is no confusion. Because I'm not confused about my identity, because Jesus certainly does not have any doubt about his identity, or he never got confused, what am I, why am I came on this earth. He knows his purpose, he knows his identity, he knows exactly who he was. See, 18 times in the New Testament, Jesus defines himself to other people, who he is. And some of those, you can see that Jesus said, I am the bread of life, in John 6:35. I am the light of the world, John 8:12. I am the good shepherd, John 10:11. I am the resurrection and life, John 11:25. I am the way, the truth, and the life, John 14:6. I am the true vine, John 15:1. I am the Son of God, Mark 14:61-62. These are just a few, but there are 18 definitions that Jesus defined who he was and who he really is. So in Jesus' mind, there is no confusion. He knows his identity, who he was. Sometimes the movies, try to depict Jesus. There are some movies that came trying to show Jesus as confused why he came to this world. This is all fiction. They are trying to discredit Jesus, but in Jesus' scriptures, what is very clear. Why he came, what is his purpose is. So God wants you and I to know our true identity. Like the way Jesus knows his true identity, he wants us to know our true identity as well. Because only your Creator can tell you that. Nobody can, because nobody has created you. Only God made you, and only God can tell you what he created you for and who he created you to be. So, because he is the Creator, he is the only one who can tell us. Why it is so important? Because if you don't know whom God made you to be, then you are going to fall into different traps. And people, put different traps to us. We may fall into that and waste our life. Because we don't know what our identity is, why we are created for, what is the purpose of our life. And so what happens is, if you don't know what God has created you to be, and people will mold you into their model. There are always influences. There are always people who try to make you somebody else, which you are not. Our close friends can may alter who we are, our spouses can change who we are, and anything. So you always have to be clear to understanding, who we are, because what happens is people will manipulate you and you will end up in a phony life. We try to be somebody who we are not. We pretend, we fake, and we wear a mask because we do not really know who we are, why we are created for. See, confused identity leads to stress in your life. If you are confused, then it creates a lot of stress. Because this happens because you are trying to be something you are not. And see, if you want to think like Jesus, you want to have the mind of Jesus Christ, we will know exactly who we are and there is no confusion. Jesus knows exactly who we are and we will know exactly why we are created for. Only thing is, we need to have the mind of Christ. Second thing is, I know God's purpose for my life. Why? Because Jesus knows exactly his purpose for his life. And he certainly knows why he came to this earth. He knows his purpose. He knows he came to die for our sins. He knows his vision. He knows his purpose. His goals are very clear. He knows what to do. What age to do what. John 8:14 says, I know where I came from and where I am going. So Jesus is very clear. He knows his identity. He knows his purpose. Why am I here? What am I supposed to do? Do you know that? Do you know where you came from and where we are going? See, Jesus settled this very early in his age. In fact, at 12 years, when Jesus came with his parents to the temple, and he was, left in the, he was in the temple while the parents, Mary and Joseph, were coming back with their traveling group. And then in the middle of the travel, they realized that Jesus is not there with them. And then they went back to find Jesus in the temple. And then they saw Jesus talking with the elders. At that point, they were asking, her mom was asking, what are you doing here? Why are you waiting for us? And Jesus said, do you not know that I came here to do my Father's business? See, Luke 2:49 says, I must be about my Father's business. So he knew his purpose at age 12. You know why he came, what to do, and his purpose. See, a lot of times we lose our years without knowing the purpose of our life. I didn't know until like 20 years, God told me why he called me. But I did not make any decisions at that time because I didn't know what is that calling means. It took 6 years for me to really think to start into the service, and that's how I started in this years. And then after 6 years, it took 6 more years for me to get the real calling, what God wants me to do. But it's a process. You have to keep waiting for God and asking Him, what does He want me to do? See, once you get the clarity of the calling, then the next thing is the obedience. Are we obedient, following His calling? But a lot of kids, they can know their calling at an early age. But as the parents, we have to be able to tell them, encourage them to ask God to be in touch in prayer, that they understand their calling at an early age, so they don't fall into the traps. See, Jonathan calling, when he was born, very clearly what he is called for. But for him, it took 8 years to know his calling. So he decided at age 8, what is his calling is. So that he could fix, that automatically we can see his life at that time because he was reading more Bible than any book he could ever read. So that started his molding his life at an early age because the word of God sinking into his heart daily, So when you grow, you understand how God can drive you. So our parents have to be able to give the direction to the children, and automatically the children will know what God called them to do. See, Jesus, when he was, getting, ministry expanded, he became more and more specific, announcing several specific purposes for his life. In Luke 4:43, he said, I must proclaim the good news about God's kingdom, for I was sent for his purpose. So this was very clear. My role is to proclaim the good news. I was sent for this purpose. John 10:10 says, my purpose is to give life in fullness. So it's very clear. He was telling it very clear. My purpose is to die, to give my life to his fullness. Now, knowing not only who he was, what is his purpose. In fact, even right after the Christ's death on the cross, Jesus' purpose was very clear. There was no uncertainty, anything. John 12:27 talks about, now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour, but for this purpose I have come to this hour. See, Jesus was constantly in communication with God, and he was telling his purpose. He was making it clear to his disciples. He was praying like that. Jesus knows who he was and his purpose, and he wants us to know who you are and our purpose. See, he expects the same thing. He wants us to know our identity, our purpose. When I have the mind of Christ, I'm always aware that God is with me. This is the third point. When I have the mind of Christ, when I think like Christ, I'm always aware that God is with me. This is very important because if you are thinking like Christ, like, Christy was saying in that song, that always that you want God to be with us. You want to hold His hand. See, you feel it when you are always thinking like Christ. When you have His mind, you feel like He's always with you. Jesus was like that. Jesus lived in the presence of God. He stayed connected to the favor of God. No matter how busy he was, he stayed in tune with his Father. He took time to get alone and pray. See, a lot of things we learn from this, the way Jesus lived. He's God. He is always with people. People flocking him wherever he goes. But he took time to get alone and pray. Jesus 16:32, I am not alone because the Father is always with me. See, the greatest antidote to loneliness is thinking like Jesus. If you are alone, if you're feeling alone, the greatest antidote for that is you have to think like Jesus. When you have the mind of Christ, you will be able to say, I am not alone, as the Father is always with me. When you have, like the way Jesus was saying, I am not alone, as Father is always with me, you will be able to say, Jesus is always with me. The Holy Spirit is always with me. Then you don't feel alone. You don't feel like I myself here. I don't have hope. I am alone. See, that's what the thing is. He was always aware of God's constant care. How about you? How can you do that? How can you stay always aware of God's presence and God's constant care? The answer is through prayer. See, Jesus made prayer a daily habit. The reason why he knew God was always with him, because he's always connected with him and he's always talking with him. Luke 15-16 says, Jesus often slipped away to be alone so he would pray. Here it talks about he often slipped away to be alone so he would pray. He was showing us an example there. He was so busy, but still he's taking time to communicate with God, to talk with him. So what does often mean? It is not like once in a lifetime. This is a habitual thing. Jesus' prayer life is habitual. It was regular. It's a continual. And he often slipped away to be alone so he could pray. That's why he's always aware of God's presence, because he's always talking with God. See, the one question you and I have to be asked is, how often do you slip away to pray during your day? When you start your day, how often do you do that? Your day gets better if you do that. If you develop a habit to sleep away and pray, maybe you must be doing a lot more productive than what you are, because you are asking God's help in every situation. Let me summarize this. If Jesus felt the need to slip away and pray during the day, how much do we need to sleep and pray during the day? See, you miss the gifts of God when you fail to get with God. See, this is very important. You miss the gifts of God when we fail to get with God. If I'm too busy for God, I'm out of God's will. It's not good God's will to be too busy for God. On the other hand, you can get more done here if you pause between prayer. See, sandwich prayer between here and there will have more success in your life, and you will get more done. We all need quiet times. We all need to reflect of our prayer life. When we are at home, to recharge. We always have to do the sandwich prayers. So between the time, whenever we get a chance, sleep out, before you go to a meeting or before you have an interview, before you're doing something, ask God. Every small thing, ask God. There's nothing small gift to God. You always have to stop and do a small prayer and keep moving that. Pascal, the French philosopher, once said, most problems people get because of their inability to sit still. Can we sit still and be aware in prayer? A lot of problems people get it seems because people don't want to stay still and want to wait. And Psalm 46:10 says, be still and know that I am God. So you have to be still and wait and to listen. Then you know His will for our life. When you look at the life of Christ, we know who He was, we know His purpose, and we always know that we are aware of God's presence because He has the mind of Christ. And when we get the mind of Christ, we can do the same things. We are always aware of Jesus' presence, the Holy Spirit's presence. See, when I have the mind of Christ, the fourth point is, I let God help me choose my words. I let God help me choose my words. Now, when you're thinking like Jesus, then you will do what Jesus did. What did Jesus do? He let God help him choose his words. How did that happen? Jesus said, I do not speak without thinking, and I ask God to help me with the right words. Do you do that? Do you ask God to help you manage your mouth? See, this is where a lot of problems come, because we just use our mouth more liberally. We just throw words around, and these words may cause a lot of problems. We may hurt with our words other people. We may lose our testimony because of our words. So it's very important. Jesus always did what God allowed him to say. And we need to develop that habit to be careful what we say and think about it. John 1:49 says, I have not spoken on my own. Instead, the Father who sent me tells me what I should say and how I should say it. See, Jesus was telling that. Would you do that? Jesus was saying, I am not going to say anything unless my Father who sent me to say. He told me not only what I should say, but how I should say it. This is the word of Jesus. So we all have to be very clear, ask God, asking us every day, when we start our day, the Lord help me to speak the right words during my day. When we communicate at work with our bosses, with our colleagues, our friends, in a church, whatever we do, we have to make sure we ask His guidance to use the right words. Do you think if you will have happier relationships if you let God, the Father, tell you what to say and how to say it? Undoubtedly, you will have good relationships. Would you have less conflicts with other people in your life if you let God tell you what to say and how to say it? And no doubt about it. See, if you find your mouth frequently gets you into trouble, the antidote is to learn to think like Jesus. See, what we say will bite back to us later. See, a lot of times, one thing it comes around is what you say, it always comes back to you. Sometimes people very fastly criticize. And you never know what other people are criticizing you. And that automatically bites you. And if our words are always positive and uplifting, then other people will be blessed through your words, and the other people will not talk bad about you, because your words give them that lift positivity in that. But if you start using negativity, and sooner or later you will get caught into that, And one day you will hear that somebody else is talking about you the same thing what you said. So we have to be careful what we say, because the word cannot be taken back. Always have to remember what will come out of my mouth or our mouths cannot be taken back that easily, and that will haunt. And one of the things, especially in a marital relationships, very important part is that do not, in anger or frustrations, throw words, because the words we remember a long time. And whenever in these relationships, people constantly recollect these words. So always try to have that balanced conversation. And even if you get angry, even if things that you want to burst out, just walk away. Don't say the word. 2 minutes, the anger will be gone, and you are safe. That word will remain. What you said will haunt for the other person for days, maybe years. That's one thing I learned in my life. I will never use my mouth to anyone criticizing, or if I may get upset many times. It's not like you don't get upset. But I never said one word to Christy in my 25 years, close to 25 or 20 life. One time I never said to her, angrily any word. Because she will always remember what I said. I never want to give that opportunity that you said this one day, and I don't want to give that chance. And I always be careful what I speak. But sometimes the words come out, and I regret. I walk away. Because you have to be careful. Because sometimes you can't control it. You say, but you have to think back what you said, regret, and walk away. Because it's better to do it right away than worrying about it later. So, what we have to do is, Jesus never was manipulated, by this thing. He always has the mind of Christ. If you have the mind of Christ, then God tells you what to say. The fifth one is, I don't worry about pleasing everyone. See, if you have the mind of Christ, you don't worry about pleasing everyone. This is going to be a big one, as most of the time people are, we live a life to please people. We always want to have the approval of others, of friends, at work, all these things dominate our life. They control our life. You're always worried about what other people think. And because you're always worried about what other people think, you can't be what God wants you to be. Because when you put on the mind of Christ, if you want to learn to think like Christ, these are the things, all these characteristics are very important, because these are things that help us to manipulate, to make sure we mold it, to lead it our life. Jesus, his only goal is to focus on pleasing his Father. That's all his goal is. He never cared about the other people. Jesus was never manipulated by crowds or by approval or disapproval of others. He lived for the audience of one. That's it. Whatever he wants to do is to please only one. And that's all we have to be focused on. Because we can't please anyone. John 5:30 says, I only try to please the one who sent me. I only try to please the one who sent me. That's all the goal of Jesus is. You don't want to please everybody else. That simplifies your life. See, the reason why we are stressed out, because you want to please everybody. If you want to please a crowd A, then the crowd B will be picked up. And if you want to, please the one group, there will always people, somebody is not happy. You can't please everybody. Even God can do it. Because think about it, if there's a game, the two teams are playing, both teams, fans will be praying, Lord, my team will win. But God can't answer both of their prayers, only one team will win. So, you always have to look at it, what simplifies the life? Jesus has only one goal, to please his Father. And if that's what I'm doing the right thing. In fact, what Jesus did pleased God as he was doing the right thing. Matthew 3:17 says, "And behold, a voice from heaven said, 'This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased.'" See, what Jesus did pleased his Father, because his goal is to please him. God says, "I love him. I'm well pleased with him." That is Jesus. And he will say the same thing to us if our goal is to please Jesus, not everybody else. One pastor of Lord's Church said, "At every minute I may be disappointing somebody." He said, some may like a certain song, some may not like a certain song. Some may say, "I don't like this message." Some may say, "Oh, I didn't like this point." There will always somebody. Because it's hard to please everybody. Jesus said in Luke 16:13, "No one can serve two masters." So you got to decide whom you got to live for. You got to look back God's approval or the other people's approval. You got to wait to think what God thinks, not what other people think. So as long as we have clear, thought process, it reduces the stress, it reduces the worries, it helps us to have a stress-free life. So, when you have the mind of Christ, you will be so secure in your identity and your purpose, and you will be aware of the God's presence in your life, and you won't look for other people's validation. So these are the 4 things you look. And now when you're always looking for validation of other people, you do not realize who you are, what God made you to be, and that is always with you. Jesus never let approval or fear of rejection of others control his life. He never looked at the popularity angle. He did what he was called to do, and he didn't worry about anything else. John 8:18 says, "I am the one who bears witness about myself, and the Father who sent me bears witness about me." That's all he looked at. He's looking for validation of his Father. I do not need anyone to validate me as per Jesus. And we all have to ask the same question. Whose approval are you depending on your happiness? Whose approval are you waiting for that? I will be happy if. The truth is, nobody can pressure you without your permission. I do not worry about pleasing others if I have the mind of Christ. The next one, I depend on God's power instead of my own. When you have a mind of Christ, when you think like Christ, I depend on God's power, not on my own. See, these are the quotes, all these quotes what I'm showing here, these are the direct quotes of Jesus Christ. See, these are the powerful words coming out from Savior himself, not about Christ, but actual quotes that he spoke. John 5:19, "I assure you, the Son can do nothing by himself. He can only do what he sees his Father doing." See, Jesus was telling these things very clear. I cannot do anything by myself. I can only do what his Father is doing. See, that is what, if you are doing the will of God, we can say these things because we have to say that our power is not sufficient to do anything. And we have to depend on his power to do, what we are called to do. This is what. So if you try to do it, if you're trying to do everything on your own, human power, how do you know that? Simple is, you're tired all the time. We get drained out because we have limited power. We will be looking, a little bit more detail in the coming days. The 7th point is, if I have the mind of Christ, I forgive my enemies and those who hurt me. I forgive my enemies and those who hurt me. If you're going to think like this is very, very important because you have to learn to forgive your enemies and the people you hurt you more. This is the hallmark of Jesus Christ. This makes him different than any God, any religion, leader. Nobody says this. Only Jesus said these words, to forgive. Even on the cross, when we looked on Good Friday, we saw that. Jesus prayed, Luke 23:34, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they were doing. So hanging on the cross is in agony and pain. The blood is coming from his head. He is suffering. Well, it's severe, going through a lot of mocking and all that. While he's standing on the cross nailed, he asked, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they were doing. See, that's the mind of Christ. That's what it means to think like Christ, to be willing to forgive people. What are you holding your grudge against? Who are you holding your grudge against? Who are you keeping back and will not let them go? You're holding on to the pain. When you're holding on the hurt, then are you holding on? Who are you hurting? You're only hurting yourself. You see, when you're holding the hurt within ourselves, what the people who are impacted is us. We are the ones who are getting impacted when we are holding on to the hurt. See, we need to forgive that person, not because they deserve it. They don't, and neither do you. You don't, neither of us deserve anything, because Jesus had forgiven us. You forgive that person because you do not want to hold on to that pain. You don't want to hold on to the hurt and resentment. Being unforgiving is taking poison in your life, in your own life, and drinking it and hoping it kills them. Think again this verse, not verse, one. Being unforgiving is taking poison in your own life and drinking it and hoping it kills them. What it means is, it's going to take other life. It is going to hurt us if we keep holding that pain with us and without releasing it. Because I have seen families, siblings, years, they don't even talk with each other. 20 years, 30 years, because they just had something in their heart that they cannot forgive. They cannot let go. They just hold on to that. And the friendship's gone because that anger was holding in their hearts. But yet let it go. And, Jesus said, Father, forgive them, but they do not know what they're doing. But here is the thing. He never stops with just forgiving us. He goes even further. He pushes to the limits. He gives a radical statement that says, not only we have to forgive the people that hurt you, you are going to even think like me. If you need to learn to return the good for evil. So not only forgiving, God was telling you have to return good for evil. When somebody is doing evil for you, try to do good for them. Matthew 5:44 says, love your enemies. Bless those who curse you. Do good to those who hate you. And pray for those who despitefully use you or persecute you. That's what it means to have the mind of Christ. Why would I choose to do that? Because if you having the mind of Christ with the thinking like Christ is the most healthy way to live. It's the most healing way to live, and it's the most happy and holistic way to live. The life will be very different when we have this kind of thought process. It releases us from all this pain and anguish and suffering and hurt. It keeps us free. See, if you don't have the mind of Christ, you are having the influence of the world, the mind of the devil. He's trying to hurt us. He tries to put us down. He tries to put us in depression, confusion, anxiety, fears, all kinds of stuff. And 8th point is, I am willing to sacrifice for others. I am willing to sacrifice for others. If you have the mind of Christ, you are thinking like Christ, you are willing to sacrifice for others. A lot of people want to sacrifice for themselves. But if you have the mind of Christ, you are going to sacrifice for others. See, we always want to do what is right for us, what is good for us. But what God is telling is, you should be willing to do good for sacrifice for the good of others. John 10:14-15 says, I am the good shepherd. I lay down my life for the sheep. The lay down means give up his life, for the benefit of others. This is what Jesus did. He laid his life for all of us so we can have eternal life. Mark 10:45 says, I came here not to be served, but to serve others, and to give my life as a ransom for many. See, that's the principle. That's the Christian life is. That's what summarizes the Christianity. I came here not to be served, but to serve others, and to give my life as a ransom for many. A lot of times, many people want to be served than to serve. But Bible was telling the other way around. Our life should be willing to serve than to be served. Jesus in the Last Supper, he washed the feet of his disciples. He is God. You don't have to do that. But he showed his humility. So that's the hallmark of Christianity. Jesus once said, it is only through giving your life away that you really know what it means to fully live. Mark 8:35 says, if you insist on saving your life, you will lose it. Only those who throw away their life for my sake and for the sake of the good news, will ever know what it means to really live. Some may say Jesus sacrificed his life because he is God. He is the Savior of the world. I'm not the Savior of the world. Why would I lay down my life for others? Doesn't matter. Then, if we think like Christ, then, there are two scriptures we see in the Bible. John 3:16, which, most of us must have memorized this. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him will not perish, but have everlasting life. Here, God so loved the world that he gave. You cannot love without giving. God says loving and giving goes together. But there is another verse in 1 John 3:16. It talks about our responsibility. It says, this is how we know what love is. Jesus Christ laid down his life for us. And we are to lay down our lives for each other. And, that is what our responsibility is. Jesus laid down his life for others. And we have to lay down our life for each other. That's the whole new understanding of what it means to follow Jesus. And that's the new understanding of being a believer, being part of the church, that we should be able to have that kind of spirit among each other in the church body. And, the ninth characteristic is, I want to do God's will, not mine. I want to do God's will, not mine. When we start thinking like Christ, we will start doing what God wants us to do. In John 6:38, it says, I came to do what God wants me to do, not what I want to do. Jesus was clear in his thing. This is a radical countercultural statement, because people want to do what they want to do. When you are living in this world, that's the self-centeredness nature. I don't care if it benefits me, I'm good. If it doesn't benefit me, why should I? But Jesus was telling, I will do what God wants me to do. John 14:31 says, I want the world to know that I love the Father, and that is why I do everything exactly as the Father tells me to do. Do you want the world to know that you love God? And do you want the world to know that we are His disciples, we obey God? I obey God exactly what He asked me to do because I love Him. If you love Him, you will do what He asks us to do, follow His commandments. If Jesus says, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. See, obedience is an evidence of love. See, you follow the commandment because you love God. It's easy to do what God tells you to do when it is easy. And if it's easy to do when God tells you if it is fun and it's pleasurable. What about those times when God asks you to do something that might be painful? See, that includes, Bible says God did not spare his own son from pain, and he let Jesus go to the cross. If God did not spare his son from the pain, he will not exempt you and me. Why should I assume that God will spare us from pain? It's part of the command. It's part of the plan of God. He will allow us to go through the pain. That's why you have to think about that. The way when you look at Jesus' life, when he went through the pain, he go through the pain. Becoming like Jesus means you go through this same process. The supreme example of this, doing what God asked him to do even when it's painful, is Jesus, the night before he was going to the cross, in the Garden of Gethsemane, this is his favorite place to pray. This is what we saw on Good Friday night. He would go to Gethsemane and pray for his Father in his presence. Before he went to the cross, he's in agony, knowing the pain emotionally, spiritually. He knows what he's going to face. He knows the trials he's going to face. He knows he's going to go through 3 Roman trials, 3 Jewish trials. He's going to be put on the cross, mocked, spitted. All these things Jesus knows. So he's in anguish. He's praying to Father. In this Gethsemane prayer, there's 3 parts that you and I have to learn from that. Mark 14:36 says, Abba, Father, everything is possible for you. Please take this cup of suffering away from me. Yet, I want your will to be done, not mine. See, Abba is the Arabic word for daddy. It's a closeness, intimacy. It talks about that, the first word that Middle East people will call Abba. There are many times in life that you will have Gethsemane experience where you are in pain and you are hurting and you are praying and you want relief. All of us go through that experiences. When you are in pain, when you are hurting, and you do not know what God's will is, we have to come before God. Here Jesus, God's will for Jesus is to go to the cross and not to relieve the pain, but let him go through the pain in order for good of the other people. That's the God's will. Jesus have to go through that pain to face the cross. Sometimes we suffer for the benefit of others. This is called redemptive suffering. At any time, when you are in major pain, it is appropriate for all of us to pray the Garden of Gethsemane. There are 3 parts to it. I want all of us to make a note of it. Remember this. And we go through these experiences of pain, hurt. Remember these 3 points. The first part in this prayer is faith. Jesus said, Abba, Daddy, I know you have the power to change the situation. You can pray that too when you have painful situation you are going through. Jesus said, Abba, Father, everything is possible for you. That means he has the faith that God has the power to do it. So you have to put that faith. When you are going through a tough time, have that faith first. Whatever the problem is, it can be relational, it can be financial, it can be immigration, it can be emotional, whatever. Start the prayer saying, Lord, you have the power to change the situation. If you do not have the power, Jesus did not have the power to change this, you will not be talking to Jesus in prayer. So faith is tying up saying, I know you have the ability to change and everything is possible with you. And that's what Jesus said. The second part is ask. You have to ask God to tell us what the problem is. There's nothing wrong. You have to explain to Him what's the problem. Jesus said, I am asking for your help. I like to be delivered from this. It is appropriate for you to ask God to tell about the pain and ask Him to deliver you from that pain. You have to ask God. Jesus did. Jesus looked at that, when you look at the verse, He said, please take this cup of suffering away from me. So Jesus was asking that. Please take it away from me. You can ask God to take away the pain from us. Whatever the pain we are going, we can ask Him for relief and a miracle. So you have to say, Lord, you have the power to do it. I'm asking you to do the miracle in my life and relieve the pain, what I'm going through. The third part of Gethsemane prayer is surrender. Faith, ask, surrender. What did Jesus do? Jesus said, even though I'm asking you to take away the pain, the tough time I'm going to face, or I'm facing now, I surrender to you, and more than anything else, more than my relief, I want your will, not mine. See, that's what Jesus said. I know I'm going through pain, I'm going through suffering, I'm going to go through all these challenges, but it's not about me. But I want to do what your will is for my life, not mine. See, that's what the thing is. Thy will be done, not mine. That's what the mind of Christ is. We have to be thinking that takes an enormous amount of spiritual maturity. It's not easy to say that. That's what growing in Christ means. When you start growing in the Christ, these are the things we can say. I want your will to be done, not mine. Philippians 2:8-9 says, Jesus humbled Himself and was fully obedient to God, even when that cost His death on a cross. So God exalted Him and raised Him to the highest place and made His name greater than every other name. See, the name of Jesus is greater than any other name in the world, here in heaven. And God exalted Him because of His obedience. The 10th one is, I think with an eternal perspective. When you start thinking the mind of Christ, when you have a mind of start thinking like this, everything we think from eternal perspective, not from what we do here. So that's what the whole lesson says. What we do, our past, present, future, our life, from a death angle, the rewards, salvation, everything, we have to think from an eternal perspective. What is unbearable is pain without a purpose. Human beings can stand enormous amount of pain if they know, if they have a purpose in the pain, if they see a reward past the pain. It's something. We can bear the pain if we know the purpose of the pain and see a reward past the pain. That we can bear the pain. See, that's exactly what Jesus did. Because He knows what is the end result is when He is going to the cross. He looked past the pain. It's excruciating pain. But He looked past because He knows the God in heaven. He had an eternal perspective. He's not looking here and there, what we do in this world. If we start thinking that way, you get discouraged, you get depressed. Jesus looked past the pain, and we have to look the same way. We have to not focus on the temporary things of this world from eternal perspective. Hebrews 12 says, Jesus was willing to die a shameful death on the cross because of the joy He knew would be His afterward. Now He is seated in a place of highest honor besides God's throne in heaven. Learning to think like Jesus. It changes everything of perspective, how we look at it. Repentance is a kind of a tough word to a lot of people. They don't want to use that word. It's kind of a negative word. I don't know why. It means change of mind. Repentance means I want to change the way I think, to rethink my life in my next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever it may be. The way we think changes, our life changes, our life transforms. How can I learn to think like Jesus. We will look in the next weeks. Study his life and words in the Bible. We have to study his life and the words in the Bible. Very, very important. Hebrews 12 says, keep your eyes on Jesus, who both began and finished this race we are in. Study how he did it. The more you study the Bible, the more you think like Jesus. You have to study his life and words, and if you want to have the mind of Christ, then ask God to show you and I, to show us the meaning and how it applies to our life today. When we read it, we need to ask God, what does this mean? How can I apply it to my life? Then only we can change. There are always, we are seeing people 30, 40 years sitting in the pews. Every day they go to the church. Day and night as a traditional way. Nothing changes in the life. Because we never take the word to apply it in life. Unless you apply it, then only change will come. Otherwise, if you listen and say, oh, good word, great word, and go home, what does it do good? The good will only come when we apply and change. And that is all this all about. Psalms 119:18 says, open my eyes that I may see wonderful things in your word. Open my eyes that I may see wonderful things in your word. Bible calls this illumination. It is the job of the Holy Spirit to open up, to teach us, to understand us, the word. And the last verse, John 16:15, Jesus said, the Spirit will take from what I have to say and make it known to you. The Spirit will take what I have to say and make it known to you. It's the Holy Spirit who will help us to interpret the word. Because this is the only book where the author, we can talk to the author, and the author will help us understand what it means. And what will it do? This will bring revival to your soul, revival to your heart, to your mind, to your work, to your home, to your relationships, marriage, your parenting. Everything changes when you start thinking the way the Christ thinks. You have the mind of Christ. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you, Jesus. We welcome you, Lord. We thank you, Lord, for everything what you have done in our life. We thank you for giving this wonderful word, how to think like you with your mind and to see things in this world, everything from eternal perspective, Lord. Lord, help us to sink these 10 points, what we just meditated, that we can able to understand this and change the way we think in our lives, that our lives be a blessing to us, people around us, where we work, and the people in the church and the families, everywhere, Lord. The testimony helps people to come to you, Lord. Help us to have that radical change in our lives. Why we are on this earth? What is the purpose? What is the vision of our life? Help us to know that, Lord. Give us time that we can be able to spend time with you, to know your presence. Lord, we pray that as we are taking the communion, Lord, help us to remember the things that we have sinned against you. Ask us, Lord, open our hearts that we come to you, ask your forgiveness. And also remember the sacrifice what you have done for us, and we can able to